Many people are wondering, where do babies go when they die? And many of them go to hell, of course, and some may go to heaven. Um, and so this discourse basically is to elucidate this concept of what happens to babies. Now, the scripture hasn't said clearly, what will happen to them when they die, but of course it has alluded, and you could conclude that they could go to hell or go to heaven. Now, basically, it's the parents' status that determines where these babies are going to go before they reach the age of majority and able to make their own decisions. Because the scripture says that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart. So you could assume that parents who are going to heaven will train up the kids in such a way that they also will be going to heaven, and they will not depart from that. Now, if the parents are evil, into voodoo and all forms of evil, then you could assume that these children are going straight to hell, because it's not the child's character that is being considered here, it's the parents. I mean, I think it was David who said that we are born in sin and shaped in iniquity, so that at birth we're sentenced to hell. But the parents would intervene and be, pleading to God on the child's behalf, and doing things, helping the child to come to appreciate things of God, and to accept Jesus and the whole 9 yards. And so when the parents are bound for heaven and the child dies, it's the parents' character that is going to be transposed on this child. But again, if the parents are evil, you could assume that this child will grow up to be evil just like themselves, because they would be encouraging the child into evil stuff. Get you a Ouija board, hate the neighbors, and steal these people's things over there with impunity. And so, it's clear what's going to happen. Children. I mean, the scripture has shown that children are precious, and that they're from God and whole 9 yards and all. But we understand the biology. The sperm and the ovum get together, and this child is born 9 months after. Children are special, and if the parents would train them up right, what a beautiful world they will be. But and even though the parents are bound for heaven, these children sometimes will do some things that will shock you. But it doesn't matter whether one lies, whether one is gay, whether one's a murderer. They're all sins, and they all would entitle you to hell. But when one goes to God and talks to him about it, then everything is good, and he forgets the past, give them a new slate, and they could go forward without worrying about what has happened in the past. And so children could either go to heaven or hell, but it depends on the parents' character until they reach the age where they're sort of independent-ish, and they're making their own decisions, and they're not even considering the parents, or the parents have no influence over their lives. It still would mean that if they're Christians, this same description will apply, because they're old enough now, and it's their own sort of a lifestyle that is going to be weighed in the balances, and they will have to be asking for forgiveness and for guidance as they go along. And so I hope this has thrown some light on this issue here of whether children will go to heaven. It's not automatic. They're not going to go as soon as they die. If the parents were right and they were of not the age of majority, it's going to be hell if the parents are evil, whether they are, age of majority or minority or whatever, minor. It doesn't matter. The parents' character would have ensured that they go to hell, but then they would choose to continue in the same lifestyle, and so they're bound for hell.